Hey everyone, this is a 4-string CBG lesson for Sundown by Lightfoot. We're going to need a capo on the 2nd fret. Before you put that capo on, make sure you're in an open G tuning. With the low string will be a G. Next string is going to be a D. Next string is going to be a G. And the high string will be a B. We put that capo on, it moves everything up 2 frets and 2 steps, so now we're in an A tuning. And now the low string is going to be an A. Next string is going to be an E. Next string is going to be another A. And the high string is now going to be a C sharp. So when you put the capo on, make sure you retune to again A, E, A, and C sharp. Alright, well, there's only 4 chords in this song. And other than the quick verse, the opening, the verse, and the chorus, it just repeats itself the entire song. So it's going to be super quick and pretty easy to play this. And then I'm going to show you how to play the little melodic solo. Before I show you the pattern of the song, I'm going to show you how to play the 4 chords we're going to be using. The first one's going to be an E chord, and we're going to play it like this. We're going to take our index finger and place that on the 2nd fret. And yeah, I'm sorry. When you put the capo on, that becomes our nut, pretty much. So the 3rd fret is now our 1st fret. So when I say 1st fret, it's going to be the 3rd fret, and so on. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So we're going to take our index finger and place that on the 2nd fret on the E string. We're going to take our ring finger and place that on the 4th fret on the upper A string. And then we take our pinky and place that on the 5th fret on the C sharp string. Strike all 3 together as a chord. And if it's comfortable for you to do this, and if you can do this, take your middle finger, place that on the 4th fret on the low A string, and strike that all 4 together as a chord. It just makes the E chord sound a little fatter. So yeah, and then the next chord we're going to do is a B7 chord. We're going to take our index finger, place that on the 2nd fret on the upper A string. We're going to take our ring finger and place that on the 4th fret on the low A string. And our pinky on the 4th fret on the E string. So strike all 3. Don't let the C sharp string ring out. Just mute that. And we're going to strike all 3 of those together as a chord. Back to that E chord. The next chord is going to be just a regular A chord, just a 1-finger bar chord. You can press down all 4 of the strings on the 2nd fret, or just the bottom 3, the low A string, the E string, the upper A string, and the C sharp. Personally, I just like doing the bottom 3. But that's up to you. And the next chord we're going to do is a D chord. We're just going to just use your thumb or something and mute this low A string. We're not going to need that for this D chord. And we're going to take our index finger and place that on the 2nd fret on the upper A string. Our ring finger and place that on the 3rd fret on the C sharp string. And then we're going to also strike the E string open. And strike all three together as a chord. D chord. Alright, and that's pretty much it. We have the E chord. We have the B7 chord. We have the A chord. And the D chord. And that's all we're going to need. Now I'm going to show you how I strum this song. Sometimes now I will finger pick this song. I will every time I play it, I might do it differently. So if you listen to it, you're just going to have to play along with the actual song. And the way I show you how to do these lessons is you can play along with the original album. There's a couple of videos on YouTube, like back in 2012. It's a live video of him, perfectly in tune. Some of the other videos on YouTube are out of tune due to the bad versions that were uploaded. But anyway, have the E, B7, A. The way I do this beginning, I think they play like 4 times, then the drums come in, they play a couple more times, and he sings 2 times. The verse and choruses are really quick. He sings 2 lines for the verse and then goes directly into 2 times of the chorus. But the beginning, the way I do it, and if you watch him play, he plays it differently almost every time he plays it. He does a lot of down picking, and I got in the habit of doing that when I play this song, whether on a real acoustic or the CBG. So the way I do the beginning is like this. You can pick it however or strum it however you want, but yeah, they just do that for a while, and then of course he comes in singing 2 lines. He sings his 2 lines. Then we're going to go to that B7 chord. And then right back to that E chord. So so I'm going to try to play through the 4 times of the beginning, and then the 4 of the verse, and then I'm going to go into the chorus, which is basically when you come out of the B7 and back to the E. He goes directly into the chorus right there, and you do 2 of the E, and then you go to the A, and then to the D, and then back to the E. So let me play through this so you kind of get the feel of what I've been showing you. And then they do 2 more, and then he comes in singing the next 2 lines, and then right back into that. But that's how you would go out of the verses. Now 2. into the A, to the D, and then back to the E. And right here where I go back into everything, now I will take my finger off, my index finger off the E chord, and then just hammer it right back on to go back into the chorus like this. So yeah, when I showed you the chords and kind of how it goes. This is kind of a song that you really need to listen to and get your own strumming pattern down. There's one guitar that does a lot of little melody picking in the background. And then you have his main part where he's just doing a lot of strumming and picking with the actual pick. So hey, it's just how you want to strum it and get the feeling for it. But yeah, I want to play through it one more time and through the beginning, the first verse, and the 2 quick choruses. So. And yeah, it does that the whole song. Just repeats it over and over, and that's exactly, I think, yeah, he just rides the E, I think, the entire time and under the solo. So as far as the changes under the solo, just ride that E. I don't even know if it changes to the A or the D in there. It might. I don't know. Just listen to it. But yeah, just remember this E, B7, A, and D. That's it. So now I'm going to show you the little melodic solo. Assuming that you have enough frets on your CVG, we're going to go up to the 18th fret on the low A string and strike that once. Then we go to the 14th fret on the E string, strike that once. Then go to the 16th fret on the E string and strike that once. Now we're going to go to the upper A string on the 14th fret and strike that once. And when we strike that one, when we strike it, we're just going to give it a little bend. Not a lot. I mean, if you can bend, I got big strings on this thing. I can't bend them very good, so I just do little bends. But yeah, on the 14th fret on the upper A string, and then back to the 16th fret on the E string once. So slowly. And we're going to repeat that one more time. And this time when we go from the 14th to the 16th on the E string, instead of just picking it, just hammer it on. So we're going to do it once, one more time. And the next phrase, we're going to strike the 16th fret on the E string once, and then we're going to strike the 14th fret on the upper A string and do that same little bend, and then strike the 16th fret on the E string once, and then quickly bend on the 14th fret on the upper A string, and then back to the 16th fret on the E string once, like this. And now we're going to strike the 18th fret on the low A string once, and the 14th fret on the E string once, 16th fret on the E string once, and then again we're going to do the little bend on the upper A string on the 14th fret, and then back to the 16th fret on the E string once. Slowly it'll be like this. Okay, in the next phrase, we're going to go up to the 18th fret on the upper A string. We're going to give that a bend, and we're going to release it back like this. Make sure when you bend it up to release it back to the original position. And then we're going to take our pinky and strike on the 19th fret on the C sharp string. And then we're going to strike on the 16th fret on the E string once. So slowly it'll sound like this. Okay, in the next phrase we're going to go to the 17th fret on the C sharp string. We're going to give that a bend, and we're going to hold that at the top of the bend just for a quick while. Just bend that once. And now we're going to go to the 16th fret on the upper A string. We're going to bend that up, bring it back down, and we're going to go down to the 14th fret on the upper A string. And now we're going to strike the 16th fret on the E string. And then we're going to strike also on the 16th fret, the upper A string. Like this. I just fret both of those, so I don't have to take my finger off, and I can just it's smoother to hit that last note. And we're going to do that one more time and stop right there. And now we're going to go up to the 14th fret on the C sharp string. Strike that once, and strike the upper A string on the 14th fret once. Again, I will fret both of those notes so I can just quickly down pick both of them. But slowly that section there will sound like this. So all together with that bend. And the next phrase is going to be just like the first one. We're going to go back to the 18th fret on the low A string once, to the E string on the 14th fret once, to the E string on the 16th fret once, and then on the 14th fret on the upper A string, give it a little bend, and then back to the 16th fret on the E string. And this time we're going to do that a little quicker. It's going to be more like. just like the beginning, except at the end of that one we're going to add another one of these. So slowly. Okay, in the next phrase we're going to go down to the 2nd fret on the upper A string. We'll strike that once. We're going to slide up to the 4th fret on the A string, upper A string. And then back to the 2nd fret on the upper A string. And then we're going to strike the upper A string open. So. And then we're going to hammer back onto the upper A string on the 2nd fret and then pull back off to the open A string. And when we hit the open A string, we're going to come down the 2nd fret to the E string and strike that once. So slowly. And now we're going to go to the low A string on the 4th fret. We're going to bend that up a little bit. Release it and then strike it. Like that. And then we're going to go down to the 2nd fret on the low A string and strike that once. Now we're going to strike the low A string open once. And now we're going to strike the E string on the 2nd fret once. And that's the end of it. The last part will be like. Actually, on that note right there, I like to give it a little bend. So this last part all together will sound like this. And that's the end of the solo. I'm going to play through it a little slow for you, and then I'm going to play it about the full speed. It's not very fast even in the actual song. So slowly. Alright, I'm going to try to do that just a little quicker now. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll be back pretty soon with another one. Thanks for watching.